Folks, welcome back to So Bad It's Good, presented by Betches Media. Now, a couple months ago, I was invited to be on this really great show that I had so much fun on. I was visiting my dad in Arizona, and I went into the other room and did this. And I think you guys are going to love them because, listen, I always recommend if you have a podcast, it's best to do it with one of your parents. And this podcast does just that. The podcast is called Hi Felicia with Marni and Felicia. And we have Marni Blake Ellis and Felicia Rothman. They are mother and daughter. And this podcast is kind of about all the media they consume, the movies, the TV shows, the podcasts, the documentaries, the books, the pop culture. And it's like, I don't know. I've been listening to the past couple of episodes today. And it's just like that kind of really warm, familiar feeling that you have with your family, even though her mom doesn't want to be here today. She just told me she doesn't have all day and that it's dark and it's cold and she needs to get out of here. So without further ado, welcome Felicia and Marni. Welcome to the show, guys.
Oh, thanks for having us. Right off the bat, Felicia's like, bye.
Yeah.
I just got here driving. It's nighttime. It's raining. It's traffic. And I'm like, I literally was home all day in my happy
watching TV.
Watch my happy place.
Yeah, I mean,
like you need a crowbar to get me out of the house.
Well, that sounds like you're a good podcaster already, because you just want to sit there and watch TV and then don't leave your place and talk about it. Where are you guys located again?
So we're in Long Island. I live in Limbrook, and Felicia,
I live in Plainview, which is about a half hour from here, hour east.
Yeah, she's in like a 55 and above community with
Thank you.
a lot of yentas and, you know.
Over 1,000 people.
It's
a beautiful
a little Rummy Cube, a little Mahjong, and a little Korean content.
Well, so what possessed you guys to start this podcast together? And how much did you have to pull Felicia's arm to do this podcast?
Okay, so it was really during the pandemic. I always consumed a ton of television. I work in the industry. I've always loved pop culture, as has my mother. Like, she raised me on television. And everybody
before cable.
What are you watching? And then we started doing these Instagram stories, and people just like fell in love with Felicia. I'd be like, Fel, did you finish Netflix? Like, she literally one day she's like, I saw that. I was like, there's nothing left. So everyone's like, you guys need to do a podcast. You need to do a podcast. And hence we started the podcast almost exactly a year ago. We're about to hit the 50th episode. Do you know that?
No. And I'm only doing this to make her happy.
Yeah.
But people love you.
But that doesn't affect my life.
But it
should. It affects your life, not mine. I'm in a bubble. I live in a bubble, just so you know. I have no idea what's going on in the world.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Do you know what's going on with Jay-Z right now?
Yes, he was.
That's important to know. Okay.
I mean, no, this is great. This is good. Like, why? What do you think is happening with Jay-Z right now, and how does it relate to Diddy? To Puff Daddy.
Well, somehow he was involved with Diddy and another young girl, I guess a few years.
Very young, yeah.
What was she, 12?
13.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do you think she was bat mitzvahed?
Was she like Meredith Marks, or do you think she's waiting until later in life, like Meredith from Salt Lake City?
I just don't understand what is the fascination with a pubescent girl. Obviously. I think that's an obvious thing, but I mean, so Jay-Z, we just did a story today. Yeah, he is being accused of being in this with Diddy, and Jay-Z has come out swinging, saying there is no way I'm a part of this. Think of my kids. How dare you? And now he is countersuing this lady, and he's saying, you got to reveal this lady's name. You've got to reveal this lady's name if she's going to make these accusations. Well, don't they need proof? I mean, other than her word?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the legal system works.
I could say that I met him 20 years ago and we had a fling.
Well, Felicia, this would be huge. This would be huge for the podcast if you're saying you met him 20 years ago. You could be living in a very fancy bubble by 2025 if this goes well.
I kept hearing, like, just wait for it. Like, there's going to be so much more news. It's going to drop. And I feel like it dropped. Like, I was waiting for the Jay-Z announcement,
How long,
connection.
How long ago was this?
2000.
Oh, not that long ago.
I mean, 24.
Well,
years
24
ago.
years.
Oh, but
I mean, yeah.
What? Yeah, 24 years ago. Okay.
but I can't get over the lawyer that like came out swinging.
Yeah, this lawyer, Tony Busby, has now said he has like over 130 accusers against Diddy, and other people, other big names are involved, but we still don't know what exact information he has. So it is that weird thing of like, listen, we do know because Diddy was on tape beating his ex Cassie, and we saw that with our own eyes.
You saw
It's
that video,
really,
Yeah.
the hotel.
Is he still in jail?
he is still in jail. He won't be getting out. I don't think he'll be getting out. I don't think ever really at this point.
Well, I wonder if he's sitting in a beautiful plush jail with a big comfy chair, smoking a big cigar, and because he paid off all the guards.
Well, I don't see. I mean, that's how we would think it, like based on movies and like Goodfellas and stuff. But I hear,
Yes,
I
that's
hear
what I'm
it's like,
basing it on.
yeah, I hear it's the worst of the worst, and actually, it is like horrific conditions. Like Harvey Weinstein is in Rikers still, and he's probably going to die this year because like he's now doing suits saying he's got all of these diseases and they're not letting him take care of his illnesses. But I mean, I don't know. It's like tough luck, man. Like you do the crime and you're paying the time now.
I don't know. I think
Felicia's like, I don't know.
No, he's a crumpled old man now. Meaning, Weinstein. He's a crumpled old man.
And maybe Diddy will become an old man too.
And
there.
maybe he will. Right.
I think Beyonce must be bugging.
Oh,
Don't
she must be.
think?
Well, see, this is the thing, and we see this on Bravo all the time. And the men make complete idiots of the women. Like, totally. Beyonce's out there like working her butt off, it seems like. Right. And she's having to pay for the sins of Jay-Z. Like a lot of women have to pay for the sins of the men. Right. And we see that on Teresa. Bravo. Or just like Tom Sandoval with Ariana and Rachel and all that whole Scandoval mess.
It's always the men that fuck up.
Always.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No brains. None.
Except for you, Ryan. You have a brain.
No, I don't have a brain either. No,
brain.
See, I mean, it is wild because I watch all these shows and you would think like, hopefully it gives like some clarity to men out there when you see yourselves represented on screen and you're like, this doesn't look good. Like somebody watching Jax Taylor, I can't imagine anybody looking up to Jax Taylor at this point.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the Jax Taylor cameo that we got?
What did he do?
Story? It's amazing.
What happened?
So like 3 years ago, my husband got me a cameo for Mother's Day from Jax. And this was when he was off Bravo. This was like the window where he was off Vanderpump or The Valley. And cameos usually like you get like maybe like a 3-minute cameo. Maybe you're lucky you get a 90-second. Jax spoke. I could send this to you. 5 minutes too long. It was the long. Everybody's like, when is this?
Wait, will you send it to me? I'll put it in the episode. I'll put it in this episode.
Well, I want to say something. Jax Taylor blocked me, I think, because I posted this cameo. He's bashing Bravo. He's like, I was made out to be the villain. They made me out this. And then when it came to the Mother's Day aspect, he's like, you women have periods. It is so hard. Like, it just like swung completely another way. I know. He's like, I watched Britney give birth. Oh, you guys push so hard. Like, it was wild, cringy. Like, and then of course it always ends where they invite you. If you're ever in LA, hit me up.
Yeah. Well, that's everything you want out of a Jax Taylor cameo, but I've gotten a cameo from Jax too, and he didn't say anything about me having a period, but he did say he was like, hey, listen, man, I'm not that bad of a guy. I'd love to have a shot with you if you like come down to the bar and we'll do a shot together. He does that in all his cameos, and he does that like I'm playing a character. And this was before The Valley started up, which Felicia, you don't watch The Valley, do you?
No, I can't watch these people. I'm sorry.
But you watch Real Housewives of New Jersey.
And you watch Beverly Hills.
I like Beverly Hills.
And you watch Potomac.
I couldn't. I watched. Wait. I did watch one episode of Potomac
today.
She like threatens me that I have to be on this stuff. That I have to, watch.
You got to perform.
It's torture. It's freaking torture for me. I have a lot more things that I enjoy.
Like
my Korean content.
Oh yeah, I forgot about wait,
Like Jill Zarin.
That's what I was gonna say. Jill, I did
Yeah.
Jeff Lewis with Jill Zarin, and she told me how much she loves the Korean dramas on Netflix, and she was going to a K-pop convention in Los Angeles, and that's what she was there for.
Next time you see Jill Zarin or speak to her, tell her to get the Viki app, Viki. You have to pay for it, but it's like, if you're a lover of Korean content, you wouldn't care about the money.
Wait, how did you get to be a lover of? Did you give up on American programming and you're like Korean
I have
content?
a very good friend, and I don't know what, maybe during, I don't know when, 3-4 years ago, and she said, try watching this, and then my first introduction, I should say, on Netflix, obviously. And then she started giving me, now watch this one. So she's my very good friend, Judy. So it's me, and she has a friend in Nebraska or somewhere, Renee. And Renee's watching it. And the three of us when we get together, we pee in our pants from laughing about this.
Do you talk Korean now?
I can't,
So you're not even picking anything up from this.
Nothing.
You're just laughing.
I can't even get a name right. And by the way, last night I sat next to 2 Korean women.
Did you say get the Viki app? You got to get the Viki app.
I wanted to jump in between them at the cocktail party. Well, it was a whatever. But the music.
You wanted to jump in between them, like, and scissor them,
no,
or like?
No, not scissor them.
Yeah, not Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Morgan, Wade, and Kyle.
But they also had very heavy accents. The music was really loud, and we were at a table of 12 people, and it was really hard to hear. So
she loves the case.
Wait, but see, I don't get it. Now I've heard this from you. I've heard this from Jill Zarin. I've heard this from numerous ladies, and I will say it's
white
almost like
is it white Jewish women?
That's what I.
Is it widows? Is it all widows?
I didn't want. Well, this is what and you were talking about this, I think, on a couple episodes ago, how you were doing a rewatch of like Young Sheldon, I think.
Yes, I'm watching. It's not a rewatch. I never Young Sheldon, so we're doing Young Sheldon with my son.
Well, did you do Big Bang Theory?
No.
I did.
Okay. So my dad, 76 years old, I don't know what they put in this Big Bang Theory. I have this theory that it's like they put something in for like an older audience, because my dad, he is so addicted to Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon. Like
really?
it's all he watches. And I was wondering, Felicia, if you had that same affliction where you are drawn to Big Bang Theory at all.
No, I just watched it because there was probably nothing else on, and I like the characters. But I wasn't addicted to it. If I missed it, I didn't care. I mean, I wasn't like, oh my God, I have to watch this.
No, I don't get it. It's like my dad. It's like he's like a baby watching like Baby Shark songs. Like he gets he gets in a trance.
Because he can finally do what he likes, and he can watch what he likes without anybody. Don't put that on. It's shit.
Wow. It's almost like you overheard the conversations with my mom and dad. That's amazing.
I have had those conversations with my husband at the time,
Well, that's what I was saying, is that like my mom would over talk over every TV show. So like since mom passed, I was like, he's now being able to watch these shows for the first time without any interruption. So he's finally figuring out what's going on potentially.
Does he watch? I mean, I assume he has a TV in his bedroom, obviously.
Well, he just had to get a new one because I've had to show him how to work it now 5 times. And he told me it just is on the fritz. I don't think it's on the fritz, but he went and got a new TV. And I was like, there's no way that TV's on the fritz. Like, but he was like, had to get a new one.
This is a problem with not only your father and me and almost every one of my friends. If something happens on our beautiful big screens, whatever it is,
smart TVs.
Smart TVs.
Yeah.
TVs might be smart, the users are not.
Oh, far from it.
Can we make a T-shirt that says that? The TV may be smart, but the users are not.
Just like the smartphone. I mean, Marni what'd you put me on my phone? You put on Do Not Disturb. And she did that to me one other time. And when we were recording. And it was like, why isn't anything working?
Trying to like show her how to put the Do Not Disturb like back on. Like, was very
hard.
Yeah.
I don't have a landline at my house.
So nobody has a landline.
Okay.
Oh, my dad does because my mom made it. My mom, like, I don't know what it was, but she couldn't get rid of the landline. She didn't understand that we didn't need it. She thinks we need a landline.
Listen to me. Had I not moved, I would have had my landline. But when I moved, 3.5 years ago, I said to myself, all right, I'll try it without a landline. And if it If I don't like it, I'll just get one. So far, it's working, but I'm nervous. I have to take my phone into every room I walk in. Not that I'm living in a mansion, but I have to take it into the bathroom with me.
Yeah, that's where.
That's what
wait,
most people do.
that's where the good phone time is
I
the
know,
bathroom,
but
Felicia.
No, it's weird. It's weird. I consider like
That's what we all do.
Yes.
It's awful.
No, I mean, you gotta grow up. I mean, this is what we do as adults.
I know, but I fall into the black hole.
Like the rest of us.
I know.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Felicia, by the way, Felicia could go as deep on a TikTok hole.
Yeah,
Like, we may lose TikTok.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, the day before Trump gets inaugurated is supposed to be the TikTok ban day. So it's the day before the inauguration is the TikTok ban, unless they are able to sell it from ByteDance, which is a Chinese company. But I will say, I've gotten so addicted to TikTok in the last couple of months, and thankfully my dad has no idea what it is. I think he's heard about it from the news, but he's never been on it. What do you enjoy on TikTok, Felicia?
Two things.
I really enjoy dance videos, like current
dancing.
Any dancing. I'm not any dancing. I don't like old fashioned. I like the stuff that the kids are doing.
Like
now.
So You Think You Could Dance.
I love your I don't like old fashioned dancing. I like the hip hops. I like the new stuff.
No, I just really some of their choreography is just amazing, and of course, because everything I do is Korean, my whole feed is Korean.
Yeah.
I get more stuff about Seoul. You'd think I would know every name and every area of Seoul. All I know is Busan and Jeju Island and Seoul.
That's more than I know.
Nothing else because I cannot pronounce anything.
Well, I've been getting a lot. I'm on alien TikTok, where it's a lot of these drones that are in New Jersey. All these mysterious drones are popping up around New Jersey and flying over like military bases. And all these people around New Jersey are filming these drones. And the people like running the town said, "We don't know what this is. We don't think anybody's in danger, but we don't know what this is." I get those videos.
They can't trace where it's coming from, where the drone.
They should be. That's what scares me. They should be able to, and they're saying they don't know what it is. I
find that hard to believe.
Well, people are saying it's aliens. People are saying it's potentially aliens.
Okay. All right. Fine.
My whole TikTok algorithm is wicked through and through, and it is hardcore wicked.
Well, did you both go see
twice.
Wicked? You saw Wicked twice?
We saw Wicked. Obsessed. I saw it again because the second time around was for study research,
study and research for what?
To understand, the first time seeing Wicked, you're just taking it all in. It's like an experience.
It's beautiful.
The second time, I'm
Yeah.
studying and researching. What did I miss? Oh my God! Look at this move. I'm understanding this. It's a new way to see the film when you see it again, and I have no problem seeing it for a third time.
Felicia, will you go see it a third time?
She didn't go the second time.
The second time, but I'm saving it to see with one of the women that I.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah.
You know what? You should see if there's a Korean dubbed version of Wicked potentially to make you feel more at home. Did you guys watch The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Speaking of TikTok dancing,
Obviously, I did, but I think Felicia would have hated it.
well,
Absolutely.
but Felicia,
Amish
they
and-
all dance. All these are
Amish-
TikTok dancers.
The mom talk.
The mom talk. I'm trying to do a mom with you, but I can never get it.
What
No,
do you mean you're trying to do
the
a mom talk with me?
With
Are you trying to do the apple dance? The apple dance?
No.
What
no,
talk? What are you talking about?
Apata.
What's
APT.
what?
Bruno Mars.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll
Now
do
you
that,
know.
Mom. We'll do that, Fel.
I don't know the girl that she's.
I'll find it.
She's
I'll
Korean.
find it.
She's
She's
Korean.
Korean.
Yes.
Okay, we will get
She's
on
Korean,
that.
And I suspect Bruno Mars is probably Filipino. I don't know what his background is.
What
Not
is
that-
Bruno?
Well,
I have no clue. He's just a damn good performer. That's what we know.
Yeah, he is.
Did you see the Golden Globe noms today?
I saw the Golden Globe nominations, and I was going to ask you guys Wicked obviously was nominated for a handful.
Yeah.
Both Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were both nominated.
As it
Jonathan
should.
Bailey was not nominated. But I was wondering if there were any other movies on there that you saw that you have even seen and you've enjoyed, or was
Yes.
it I don't know any of these movies?
No, I'm big movie person.
I have not seen.
I told her she needs to see A Real Pain. A Real Pain with Karen Culkin.
I hear it's amazing. I hear
so
it's really good.
Good, and she's gonna love it because
I am.
her mother's from Poland, and it's about them going to Poland.
Right. on a Jewish journey,
Yeah, exactly.
a Jewish cousin journey?
Yeah,
It
no, I
was-
hear it's amazing.
It was really well done, and it's the perfect TRT. You know what TRT means, Ryan?
What is
right?
what is
Oh, I don't like
TRT?
that.
Mom, I told you what
I
this
don't like-
was.
Oh,
Total
run
runtime.
Total run.
Ah, the total runtime is under 90 minutes, I hear, for a real
It is.
pain.
It is, and it's
Well,
just
Wicked was
perfect.
3 hours long.
Didn't
Yes.
matter to me.
It
No,
swept
was
you
it-
away.
Was it 3 hours?
It was like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but with
Yeah,
the
but once you
trailers,
do the
you're going in a
previews and all
3-hour
that
thing.
stuff, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I also highly recommend if you've seen. Have you seen Honora? With
No,
Mikey
that's
Madison?
another. See, like I'm just inside podcasting all the time, so I'm waiting for my Screen Actors Guild screeners to like watch all the movies that they'll usually send you. But I hear that's
Right.
another good one.
I got the screeners. I'm in the PGA. I'm in the Producers Guild.
Oh, you got the
But
better
Honora-
guild. You already got the screeners.
Today I got the Moana 2 screener. And I couldn't believe it. I already saw Moana 2 in the theater on Thanksgiving. And I said to my 8-year-old, we got Moana 2. Do you want to watch it again? And he goes, no.
Oh,
Oh,
And I couldn't believe it.
See, that's
wow.
Felicia. Do you ever worry about how much movie and TV Marni's watching? Like, do you
No,
ever?
because I watched a lot. I always watched a lot of movies. When I was a kid, there was there was always and I'm sure you
Double
probably
feature?
remember, a double feature. You know, it was like an A and B side of a record. You know, the main,
Yeah.
and then the crappier movie. And we all went, I think, Sundays because all the stores were closed at that when we were kids. Again, ask your father about it; he'll know. It was either you went bowling or you went to the movies. That was it. And I did that my whole childhood. And when my husband and I, that's what we did every weekend. We would go to a movie. And now, you remember the original Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah, George Romero?
It was black and white. We went
Yeah.
to the Village and saw that. Scared the crap out of me. Also, we saw the night it came out, The Exorcist.
Oh, wow.
And when after watching it, that really scared me. That when we went home, we had a big dog that my husband had to walk, and I said, "No, I got to go with you. I can't stay in this apartment alone." And I did not live in a spooky apartment, but everything really scared me. And when the music would come on, the background music, it was like tinkling bells. I don't know if you probably
She's
don't
never
remember.
told me this story.
Right.
This is good. We're learning.
And my brother and my husband would go. They would like sing the music.
Oh,
and I'd
to
go,
like
"No,
torture.
don't do it."
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I was
We've always gone to the movies.
I went I took my dad to Vegas to go see the Eagles, the band at the Sphere this weekend.
Oh,
and he was blown. Oh, it's amazing, but he was blown away. He didn't realize, he thought the images were on the outside of the Sphere. So he just thought, what a cool looking building. And so then I think he almost had a heart attack at one point. He was just like shocked because it was everywhere. But I was asking him, because he grew up really poor in Columbus, Ohio. And I said, could you have ever dreamed of, your life, like, did you dream about, like, what did you dream about as a kid? He's like, we didn't even know you could dream. Like the dream was like,
black and white. It was black and white.
Well, he was like, he's like, I didn't know I'd have a family, and I didn't know I'd go to Arizona or go to all these places. And I just thought, how interesting. But I love that. That's why I think it's so great what you guys do, and that you're celebrating the year anniversary of this. And hopefully the rumors aren't true, Felicia, that you're quitting the podcast. Because
I threaten all the time.
Go solo. Go solo. You could go solo immediately. Well, what are your favorite moments from the past year? I mean, it could be working together. It could be
That's
guests.
such a nice question.
When Uncle Barry was on.
My mom's brother was in town from California, and my mom's brother and her mom like went to California. They had this, like, my grandma worked at Brentwood Country Mart and like knew all the celebrities. Like,
oh
it was
yeah, that's a big celebrity hangout. Yeah.
Like,
yes.
She knew
Nicole
Simpson. Like, when Nicole died, my grandma was interviewed on the radio. Like, everybody knew her. She was like the short, old
lady,
Jewish woman at the candy store. That candy store is still there. Like, everybody knew her. And we were raised in this like Hollywood kind
Even
of.
though I didn't live there.
It was always like in us.
Right.
It was always in us. But that was a very special. That was a very special moment.
My brother also he should have been a producer or also in the movies, because he knows so much more. They when they visited, you hooked him up with some other.
We bought him Apple TV. We're like, how do you not have an Apple TV?
He was like he was in heaven, right?
Yeah,
It's
you know,
like,
they're
oh
older.
my God, what did I miss? And he,
Well-
so he loves.
Well, that's what I mean. You were talking about double features, and also that's what I think it's got to be shocking. Like me and Marni, we're more used to like kind of being raised on pop culture and TV. But back in the day when you had like these double features that everybody went to, I don't think anybody could have ever prepared you for having a phone that you could go on TikTok 24 hours a day.
Who would,
I mean, like that's insane.
But Ryan, didn't you, like, I used to in college, like, go to a movie and like sneak into another movie.
Oh, heck yeah.
That was my double feature.
And by the way, I felt like I was like committing like high crime. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get arrested. I'm going to get arrested. Like I was so nervous doing it, but I was like, I only had so much money back in the day.
I think it was like just exciting to do it. You know what I mean? I think I saw Coyote Ugly and then I snuck in to see like Zoolander for the third time. Like I remember doing that.
I went to like
I also was very much into music as a teenager, and I went to a ton of concerts. Central Park had a concert in the summer. It was called Schaefer Beer Festival or something. And my girlfriend and I, we didn't go to camp. We had no money. We were like 12, 13, 14. And we would go into the city. We lived in Queens. We would take the train into the city at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, wait online because we had nothing else to do. And then we would go in and see every single concert that they had. I saw Animals. I saw Sly and the Family Star. There's so many.
She went to Woodstock.
Well,
wait, did you really go to Woodstock?
Yeah.
There's a picture of like her and my dad, and my dad's like holding a joint.
Oh my God!
This is the best
Wait,
story.
were you that nude photo I saw at Woodstock? Were you
No, I was really dumb. I wore a leotard and my landlubber jeans.
She was wearing like long sleeves.
And it was wearing long. It's like, what the hell? Thinking. And let me tell you, that not a very pleasant thing. But
you look so good.
I looked so good.
Do you remember any of the musical performances? Like, do you remember the Grateful Dead or Jimi Hendrix?
Jimi Hendrix, I kind of remember a little bit, but I was 18,
so 19.
You were 19. I was 19. I was
18.
So young. I can't remember that now. I mean, there's so many things that I don't remember. I have to call the few girlfriends that they refresh my memory if I was with them. My husband would have, Barry would have.
Did you take drugs? Did you like do acid?
Didn't do acid there.
What'd you do?
There.
But
wow. This is good. Yeah. Wow.
Did acid in Forest Hills. Where we lived.
Yeah,
I did it only 3 times. I didn't like being.
Wow, you've done acid more than I have. That's insane. Wow.
And then you had to have a Seconal or Tunal to come down off the acid.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Wait. What's the drug that you can't get anymore that everybody used to talk about? Like the mellow. No. Quaaludes. That's it. Quaaludes.
You're gonna fight with me over drugs? I knew my drugs then. Now they're.
What was the episode? Wait. Who was it? Was it Lisa Rinna that opened up the bag with all the pills?
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, and then she was making like the Xanax smoothies and all that stuff. They were saying that she made.
Yeah, that's like Felicia's. We're very.
Felicia you have partied with Diddy. There's no way you haven't. There's. It's got to be. Okay. So
I wish I could remember some more of it.
No, I was talking to my dad about memory because I've been to like so many concerts in my lifetime I've been lucky to go to, but it's so weird because you can't fully recall like every song or you can recall little moments and
right. Yeah. I can't. And I mean, then when we moved, even when we lived in Queens, my husband and I, there were concerts at all the beach clubs in Lido Beach at the time. There were beach clubs and they had night. Oh God, I wish I could remember them. All the stuff I've seen. I wish I didn't realize it was going to be a big deal now.
I know you like to go to shows with your family. We saw Justin Timberlake in October.
Wait, did you like him?
October.
I loved it.
Yes, I mean, by the way, I think he's a good performer. He gets a lot of shit, but I think he's a good performer.
I was so. We had great.
We had like insane seats where he was like the bodyguards were like pushing. I was like, oh, he's coming. Like he literally down. Like was next to us.
We were on the floor. It was really good. It was.
It was really.
That's amazing. Wait, I was Mark. Oh, Pink. I mean, Pink's an amazing performer too. Pink's an amazing. What do you think about Taylor Swift? She ended her tour last night. No?
I know she did. Yeah,
I know. I heard you talk how you watched the live stream of her last show
On TikTok. On TikTok. I watched a live stream of her
It was on
concert on TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah,
I
these
have
people
nothing-
will
I
like
just-
film
I
themselves
feel
watching.
it- I'm sure. I know she's the wealthiest woman performer on the planet, but she doesn't do it for me. But nothing against.
What?
Question.
Yeah.
Do you think her and Trav are going to be over soon? Like, what are these new rumors going on?
Well, I
There's
think there's
another
always
rumor
going to
that
be
dropped.
rumor. There's so many
Yeah.
rumors about her. And I do wonder, like, if there's a chance that she will get bored eventually, because it seems like she likes a lot of different types of guys. So I don't know if this is in game for her. And also, when you're two that successful of people, I don't know what the reality is of like making that work long term. So I think, it depends on if she takes off time or not. But I think when you're at that like level of your career, I think it will be really hard for her to like keep her foot off the gas and just mellow out because she's so used to doing everything at such a high level.
I think she's going to take a vacation. I think she's.
But where do you even mean
time.
vacation? Where do you vacation if you're Taylor Swift and you've traveled the whole world time and
Bali.
time again?
You got to go
Bali?
to Bali.
That's it. Bali.
She's
That's
go to
good.
a private beach somewhere.
All right. She go to private beach, right?
The Chiefs won't make it to the Super Bowl, and I'll meet her there. What do you right?
Well, part of me thinks he was like almost going to throw the game just so he could get to the concert because he'd rather be there than on the field.
Interesting theory.
I mean, listen, I'm going crazy talking about pop culture over these years. Marni, I wanted to point out to the audience, you said you were a producer, but you have produced, like you were on Long Island Medium back in the day. You were a producer on explain how you got into reality television. Was that something that you were aiming to do, or is it something you fell into?
Very good question. So when I was in high school, I lived and breathed for MTV. I loved watching MTV, and I was like, I need an internship. This was when, everyone was interning for he was getting paid, and I was like, oh. And my mom was like, I don't know anybody.
We don't have any connections.
Although we did have connections, strangely, in California, but I was like, I want to work at MTV in New York. And back in the day, I was watching.
Well, you were in college also.
I was in college. I was watching the credits of TRL, and I typed out a letter, printed it, and put it in the mail. And I said, I will do anything at MTV, anything at TRL. I'll get coffee. I'll do any runs. And the letter was handed to the right person. First foot in the door. First internship, MTV. Loved it. I went on spring breaks. I was on spring breaks with The Rock. I was literally living the life. I interned for 2 summers. I did the VMAs. And
oh, wow.
The minute I left college, I just went to MTV. And
they hired you.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Wait. What year was it that you were working the VMAs? Was it 2000?
It's funny. It was 2001.
Because 2000 is the
know.
Diddy Jay-Z accusation.
I thought of
after
this immediately.
The
I'm like, was I there in 2000?
Yeah.
It was 01.
Jeez.
It was
Wow.
01 and 02. I just missed the Diddy Jay-Z party.
Oh well.
Thank
Do you
God.
think they would have hit on me?
No.
No.
I was going to say you were a
I
kid,
was
but
18.
apparently it didn't matter.
Your mom's like, you had a good personality, but that's it. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. Did you?
wasn't young enough.
You were MTV,
So
and you started doing good with it.
I was freelancing MTV. I was at VH1, and it's at that time the first reality show really that hit was the Osbournes.
Oh
And
yeah,
that came out, and that was a really big deal.
And I loved it.
I loved it
Yeah,
too.
she
yeah.
loved the
I
Osbournes.
watched all that stuff when it first came out. We also
And by the
watched
way, you know what's interesting about that, Felicia, is that you liked that, but you really hate some of these Bravo shows now because of the behavior.
Now, I watched all the Bravo shows when they first started coming out. Now maybe I'm older and I have no tolerance for these women anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. And they're all divorced. They're not even the Real Housewives anymore. Give me a break. Who's left being married? I don't even understand that.
Okay, this is the clip we got to pull when I make a video of this. That's
give it a different name already. Is there anybody that's left?
Well, we
being
got
married?
Bronwyn, who's married. There's a lot of some.
well,
Salt
Beverly
City.
Hills. They don't even live in Beverly Hills. There's
That's
one
right,
person that lives in
that's
Beverly
right.
Hills.
They don't even live in Beverly Hills. Yeah.
For the record, I would watch The Real Husbands of all of these franchises.
Well, I feel like we get enough of them. I feel like if we
do.
gave them so much that it would I think the charm would wear off really quickly if we gave them a weekly show, The Husbands.
But I do love the Jersey dudes, and
I mean, yeah, they're hysterical.
But I think you'll find this fun. I don't know if you so reality TV was kind of just starting, and I wasn't like, oh, I want to work on reality TV. It was kind of just like I went where my journey was just taking me, and then somebody I knew at VH1, it was all like, social network, not social networking, just like networking who you know, and somebody called me at HBO, and I worked on the late night programming, and I did Cat House and Real Sex.
With Air Force Amy, right?
Yep.
I remember that show. We were talking about that on some show a couple months ago because I remember Cat House being on HBO. I think it was like Friday nights on HBO, and it was like Air Force Amy and who Dennis Hoff. Dennis Hoff ran the Bunny Ranch.
Yep. And I was there for years, off and on for years. Isabella Soprano was huge. By the way, Air Force Amy is still at the brothel.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
So I was like,
getting older.
Well,
they need to reboot. They need to reboot Cat House and not just Vanderpump Rules.
What's crazy is that you can't find any episodes of Real Sex or Cat House on any of these streaming.
Is that true?
Yep.
Why is that?
The minute they just felt like people don't want this. We have YouPorn, but I just think, can you imagine if they aired sessions? Like all the late night programming from the 90s, the OOs, like
Taxi Cab Confessions. Taxi Cab Confessions. Remember that one?
Yes. I didn't work on that, but I loved that show.
We need Uber Confessions would be a good partnership with Uber. Yeah.
But like it was such a time where there was no social media and people just were. I never judged the prostitutes. I was like, these women are putting food on the table for their children. Like I loved them. I had such a time.
So you were on late night on HBO programming, and then eventually you spun out of there because you did like 6 years on Long Island Medium, I think. You did like a lot of Long Island Medium.
So then
I was
from
looking
there,
at your IMDb.
I worked on the Rachel Zoe project.
Oh yeah.
I worked on a season of Rachel Zoe. Went to Milan with her, did New York Fashion Week, and I only did one season, and then I came back to New York. Oh, actually, I did a show for MTV called College Life, and then Long Island Medium, and I loved Teresa Caputo. Have such a love for her. Got very close.
I got to meet her at a red carpet like a month and a half ago, and it's so funny because I think it must be so intense for her to meet people because I think everybody's hoping that she'll contact their dead relative. Just like, hey, are you picking up on anything for my mom? Like that must be so much pressure on her.
Literally, you just said it. Did you with her? It was like a Saturday. We were going to see a Broadway show. And for the first time, I realized, like, when you see a celebrity, when you see Kim Kardashian, what do people want to do? They want to take a picture. That's all people want. Give me the picture. With her, we were literally in the meatpacking district, and a girl ran up to us and was like, oh, this is like a whole other level of like people coming up to you in your private space and asking for something. And it was really, I felt really bad. It was like, ugh. Like people don't just want a picture. Yeah. They want a message.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
another level.
Okay. So, Felicia, I wanted to get you don't like the Housewives of the current iterations, but are you watching, you said you watched Beverly Hills a little bit, right? Are you watching this season of Beverly Hills?
Only because Marni told me that I had to.
Yeah, but you know the story about Kyle, and you love Mauricio.
Yeah, I was heartbroken that there's.
Well, are you heartbroken about PK and Dorit?
No, I didn't give a shit about PK. Why would I care about?
What are you talking about on PK? Yeah.
What about this rumor that's dropping that like
Dorit
was seen like leaving Mauricio's house or apartment, and that maybe they're having a thing?
No, there's no. I mean, Mo can be dumb with women, but I don't think he would ever be that dumb. I don't think he would ever. I really. I truly.
He would be betraying Kyle and PK.
I know, but the ratings would just be so good.
I mean, it would be I know. It really would be incredible, and that's how sick we've gotten as an audience. But did you see today?
Which is really heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really. I mean, it is. Well, Lisa Rinna was hanging out with Kyle and Morgan Wade today. There was paparazzi photos of the three of them hanging out, and I thought Morgan Wade and Kyle weren't hanging out anymore.
And Teddy sliding into that.
Oh yeah, wait. Did you see that Teddy Mellencamp moved in with Kyle?
Did you know that?
No, I know I know on the episodes I've been watching, they said you're trying to into something. have an affair with somebody else? Teddy has an
Yes,
affair.
Teddy had an affair.
Why do I know this shit?
Because
don't
I
know.
tell you.
No, but I think I must see it on Instagram or
You do.
I just
So it's in our realm. Like, you know what's going on.
You know what's scary is that we're talking about this out loud. So Felicia's TikTok feed is going to be all messed up because your phone listens to you. So it's going to push all these stories out to you.
You're right. I can buy something and then all of a sudden on my phone, the products come up and I go like, what the hell? Seriously. It's very disturbing.
But wait,
It's very
why
crazy.
is Teddy living with Kyle?
Well,
What's
I mean,
going
first off, it's probably a free place
kids?
to. It's a free place to stay. I don't think
No.
the kids are staying there. I don't.
No,
I mean, I think
it's
she.
like when Edwin maybe has the kids.
Yeah, because I think they have a house on like
clear.
Mount Olympus out here, and I think he's with the kids, and like who knows if it's like back and forth. But I think without a doubt, Teddy's going to be on next season of Beverly Hills now, without a doubt. Don't you? If they're living together, that's a storyline right there.
Yeah, yes.
They're living together. You know, when you say living together, you might think they're living in a freaking mansion. I'm sure she's got.
Yeah.
No.
Joe, and maybe that's why Teddy's doing like Teddy
Maybe.
probably wants to be back on. She definitely wants
She
it.
needs money.
Oh,
Don't you think
she
needs
definitely
money?
wants to
Everybody always
be.
needs money.
Everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. Now, do you
She
watch
wants to be
Salt
on.
Lake City? Do you watch Salt Lake City at all? I know Marni, I think,
No,
does.
I can't deal with those women either. I can't deal.
Are
with
you
them.
kidding? It's so good. Wait,
Salt Lake City is amazing.
yeah,
It
Marni,
really is.
you
And
like
by
it,
the way,
right? You like it.
She loves it.
Guys, right now, I think it's better than Potomac. Potomac, I'm not loving this season. And I agree with you. I think Bronwyn is like Housewives gold, like true
And I think
wealth.
Brittany is. I think Brittany is another kind of wackier. She's a really good new addition as well. Like they all work in very weird ways. It's a show that shouldn't even exist because it's so bizarre. And Potomac this season I like more than I did last season of Potomac. I think it's a better season than last season. But Salt Lake has my heart. I think it is just so wacky
it's
and wild.
So wacky. And I told you about Bronwyn's husband, who like it's so cringy.
He's older and he's rich, and
He's
he
the guy
tells her
that,
to like
was the CEO of like Palm Pilot. And he's just like, what are we doing?
Oh.
I'm shocked he said you could do this.
I know, me too. Well, see, that's the thing too. I hate to be all conspiracy. I hate conspiracies, but I'm like, are we being punked at a certain point? Do they all like agree just to act like jerks on like these guys act like jerks because they know it'll give them a storyline?
Money. Yes.
I don't know. I'm worried about that. That's one marriage I don't think will last that much longer.
Well, it'll be
after the
curious to
show.
see what this show does too, because we've seen it time and time again. And when you work in reality, what do you think the percentage wise is of the actual reality of reality? Like, what would you say? Like, it's 80% real or it's 70%
I think it bleeds
real?
into real life more than anybody thinks, and that's why so many reality stars get divorced, because I think it really impacts their life. I think it's really puts a stress on the marriage. Like what was I watching today? Oh my God, Gordon in Potomac. Did you see this scene where Mia is talking to her husband with these two kids?
Yes.
Oh God.
And I'm telling you, like, she's probably saying, Gordon, we have to do the scene. And it is painful for him. He doesn't want to do this.
Yeah.
He's literally admitting, my wife had an affair. She's cheating on me with another man. Like, it just puts such a strain on a relationship. It's heavy. It's very, I don't think people realize. Some people are like, oh, I want to be on reality TV. So many people like pitch me show ideas. I'm like, just take a minute and really think. Like, this is going to impact your life.
Because you have to have those hard conversations. And if you don't, you're not going to be asked back to the show.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm just doing this podcast. Nobody knows my face, but when
everybody knows your face.
You're famous. What are you talking about? Yeah.
When somebody comes over to me and they hear that they go, oh my God. And it's somebody who I have no idea. That's really strange for me because I don't know who they are. And they're talking to me and I almost want to jump into a hole. I have
You love it. You love it.
Marni, it's
a
little horrifying.
Listen, my parents had the same experience, and people still will mail my dad letters and stuff like that to check in on him, like the audience. My dad, but my dad's a little bit of a fame whore. He loves it. So, he actually probably wants more of it, but it is a weird experience because I've had people come up to us like in real life places, and my dad is shocked. Like my dad is like, "Are you like?" We had somebody like almost like pull us over like in a car, and we were like scared. We were like, "What?" They're like, "Ryan, you're like from the podcast," and I'm like, "Oh," and my dad was with me, and he was like, I think proud but also scared at the same time. So it was super weird.
And then I get it.
Well,
That's
this weekend, he was like, nobody noticed you this weekend. He was like,
I
bummed.
wonder why.
He was like, I was like,
At the
Dad,
Eagles,
it's not.
with the Eagles audience?
Yeah. By the way, it was an all like the Eagles. They put down chairs in the floor, like it's usually standing only, but it's an older crowd, and they put down chairs.
That's
and
really funny.
You could tell everybody didn't have a problem with that. They were like, yeah, we're good with seating. Sitting.
That's amazing.
Okay, so we're approaching the holidays. Do you guys have a lot of holiday traditions as a family?
So
like, how do you
I'm
celebrate
raising my
Hanukkah?
son
What do you?
That's great. I love it. We are Jewish. Okay, Jewish.
Born and bred Jewish, but I
was bat mitzvahed at 13, unlike Meredith Marks. But we will do Hanukkah, but we also have a Christmas tree because my husband is not Jewish. And let me tell you something. Having the elf, like the elf that every single night is.
Oh, you do the elf thing? See, that didn't
only-
exist when I was growing up. So that was.
Well,
Ryan, not only is there the elf now, the elf has a baby. There's a baby elf.
Really?
And guess what? The elf has a goddamn pet.
Wait, so do you have to explain the birds and the bees to like teach the kid how the elf has a baby? Oh.
Learn from the streets.
But when I wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm like sweating, like, did we move it? Did we move the elf? And did we move the baby? Did we move the dog? Like, it's a stress.
You really got all of that?
We've had it through the years. The family,
Not the baby.
the family grew. Yes.
Oh my God.
I never saw the baby in the door.
It's out there, Mom. You missed it.
So at what age? Wait, Marni, what age did Felicia
He's
let you know?
8, and I thought by now he knew it wasn't real, and I think he knows. But like part of him, maybe he's fucking with us. Like,
Well, yeah. How long are you going to let this go on? How long are you going to let the
I'm
madness
ready
happen?
every day. I'm like, he's got to know this isn't real. But like, it's a talk at school. Like, oh, where was your elf? Oh, what's your elf's name? Ours is Henry.
And these kids have phones. They just Google, is like Santa and elf, like the elf on the shelf, real?
8-year-olds don't have.
I'm not giving him a phone yet.
Good.
But he watches YouTube. Like, I
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
over.
Maybe it's some secret child society and they're just all messing with us.
Right.
they're
which is
all
hilarious.
plotting against us.
But you know what we're doing this holiday? Very excited. Felicia and I saw Wicked 20 years ago, but my husband and son and my mother-in-law haven't seen the Broadway show. So we are going to see Wicked on Broadway.
Wow, you really are like this. Wicked really moved you.
It did. And I'm rooting for them to win all the things.
I was laughing because I wasn't laughing, but you were talking about the Girls Gone Wild docuseries that you saw. I had Sachi Cole, the journalist, on the show on Saturday, and I was really blown away. And I know Felicia wasn't really into Girls Gone Wild, but probably knew of it.
I did know of it, of course.
Yeah, you knew of it, but like I didn't know so many of those things. And I was just thinking about different moments in pop culture where we all kind of just accepted that Girls Gone Wild was like a part of like celebrity culture because he was hanging out with Paris Hilton and the Kardashians.
Yes.
And then 20 plus years later, you realize how insane all the behind the scenes stuff was. Not even just the girls and the situations they got themselves into, but all of the things that, like, all of the people that he kind of betrayed and backstabbed and cheated. I was blown away.
It was also such a moment for me, like in time. It reminded me of like the MTV Spring Break shows, like the MTV Jerry Springer.
They had Dave Holmes on from MTV as one of the
Dave
talking
Holmes.
heads. Me too, yeah.
And it really was like, this was like a real moment in pop culture. Like this shit would never fly now, but it did. But it's just so crazy. Like he completely, like that he got off all of it. And the only thing where he like failed was like his gambling was the issue. You know?
He went against Steve Wynn. He went again.
Right.
He said Steve Wynn threatened him, and he lost a lot of millions of dollars at the Wynn Casino, and that's what did him in.
Did you?
Like,
I'm
don't mess
curious,
another millionaire.
Has he come out with a statement since the documentary has aired?
No, I asked Sachi, like, have you heard from him? Because he had a lot of choice words for her in the initial interview and called her like the see you next Tuesday, and has not heard from him yet. But I'm sure I'm sure something will be said at some point, but you know, things like those documentaries, that's why I like talking about them, because a lot of things get lost, and your show talks about so many, like I wasn't aware of the Lisa Frank documentary until you guys were talking about it. And I was like, oh, I got to watch that, which Felicia hated it, by the way.
You're welcome, Ryan. You're welcome.
I hated it because I thought it was boring. I was waiting for something really salacious, you know. Like, I don't know why. Because of all the
why don't you like Housewives? That's all salacious all the time.
It's true. Like with all the true crime and all the docs I watch, there was no sexual harassment. There was no tax evasion.
Right. It was just her being a greedy bitch, basically.
We're expecting. See. We are completely desensitized. Our brains are mush that we're expecting so much now from these shows. And if we don't get them, we're livid. Did you watch the Martha Stewart documentary on Netflix?
Yes. But that I enjoyed. I enjoyed because she makes it interesting.
Yeah, and she's not a greedy bitch.
Well,
to use your words.
Powerful. She's so
very
powerful.
And she's stern. She really is stern. And if you ever see her on like the NBC, you know, the talk show or something where she's cooking, if those guys do anything wrong, she'll like almost, she doesn't do it, but she'll almost like slap them on the hand and go, no, that's not how it's done.
Yeah.
And she says it, you know?
And she's right though too, because we crack up.
She's great.
Oh, she looks amazing. We crack up when men like on TV have that kind of stern persona, and we think we kind of celebrate that. But with women, there's a whole different set of rules. And that's why I love the Martha Stewart thing, because she's so aware that she has to play by different, or society wants her to play by different rules.
Which is sad. Because what's good for what's good for a man is never good for a woman.
Well, what's funny about the Lisa Frank doc, 4 episodes, could have been 2 or 3. But in episode 2, we meet her now ex-husband, and it's comes off like, oh, he was the bad guy.
I thought it was him.
We were watching it thinking, oh, he took this company down, and then it turns, and then it goes into, once you get to episode 3, 4, he was not the bad guy. He was just trying to be a manager and run a company and make money. It was really her that she was just like turning the wheels behind him.
I felt bad for those young kids that were doing startups and they were just screwed over. You know, either you need a really good lawyer, you need to be smart, and she obviously had.
She took advantage. Oh,
she did.
She took advantage recently of like a 2 young. And that's when you realize, oh, she is not a good person. And also, like, she's not in the doc. Like,
you don't see her.
She's not in it.
Other
it's not her.
Pictures,
it's not her point of view.
Yeah.
At all.
But see, now I kind of want to see it. Now I kind of want to see the doc now. I mean, all 4 parts.
I was very into Lisa Frank, so I was like, I have to take the time and put this in. And thank you for doing work, Mom. Thank you.
It's become a job.
Well, that's what I was telling my dad. I was telling my dad this. I was like, it's insane. Like this used to be my dream, and now sometimes I get stressed out because like that Girls Gone Wild. No, the Girls Gone Wild was like I had to like watch all 3 episodes, like because I had it like the next day all of a sudden, and I didn't want to do the interview without watching the entire thing. But you're like, there's only so many. Well, I want to talk correctly about Girls Gone Wild, and you know, so it's really interesting to see what. Like these passions that we had all our lives, and now we're talking about them on these podcasts, but there's a lot of work that goes in. And that's why I just want to say congratulations for a year in. And that's a huge feat. It really is. And you guys,
I know, but you're not getting paid.
Well, by the way, Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. Monetization.
I want Casey and Marni to make some money, not me. I don't care. It's nothing to do with me. I want.
It takes a while. It takes a minute.
It takes a while, right? Darren Clark was like, I love your podcast.
It took me a while.
It's gonna take time. It takes time.
It took me a while, and it's one of those things, and that's why you're here today, so we can shout this out and get more people to subscribe and listen. And you know, poor Felicia, she's mad, you guys. She's angry, and she needs you guys to listen. Come on, this is she wants to get us on this podcast and Korean dramas. That's the big thing.
And we have listeners that don't know us. Like, it's not just friends. Like, people, like, message us. Because you're not on Instagram. Like, you're not, you know. But they love her. They love that.
I'm a voyeur.
They like that she's unfiltered. And everyone, you remind people, you know?
Yes.
And it's like, we get to spend we get to see each other once a week. Isn't that nice?
Or more. Yes,
right.
Of course it's nice. But we always saw each other.
Now we see each other a little more, maybe?
You don't need the podcast. Like,
Right,
you're like,
right. We
listen,
don't need
your
the
mom is this
podcast.
close to leaving the podcast. I feel like we could break this up today. Like, this is a very special episode of So Bad It's Good where you guys might end the podcast.
I almost want to talk Casey into sitting in this chair.
My husband, for
Right.
those that
Well,
don't know.
no. Okay, by the way, and Casey does all the behind the scenes work. He's awesome. You're supporting Casey when you support this show as well. But I will say, I think you guys do have this amazing dynamic that I think reminds me of my family, and people listen, it reminds them of theirs. As we close out here, though, I just want to remind people, go subscribe. All the information is going to be on the show notes. We want this show to succeed so I can make Felicia come back to the podcast again, against her will, obviously. And I wanted to ask Felicia, though. I always used to like my mom used to like to give advice. You know, she was like, "Oh, I've lived this life. This is what I advise." Do you have any advice that you like, or kind of mottos that you live by?
My advice to women would be: make sure you make your own money, make your own living. Do not depend on a man.
For all those housewives.
Yeah, Dorit. Listen, we're looking at you, Dorit.
And you have another motto that you literally tell me all the time.
Do not trust anybody. Everybody lies. Everybody lies.
No, I agree, man. Those are great. Those are not as heartwarming as I was expecting, but I mean, really.
I think I lost the heart many years ago. I'm not warm and fuzzy.
No, I love this. Is perfect. And I guess Felicia, Marni, what advice would you give to the people out there? What have you learned? Is it don't trust anybody? Is everybody bad?
That's in my blood. Like every time I watch like a true crime doc or like a catfish doc, I'm like, they just knew what Felicia was saying. Why are you trusting these people?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Oh, do you watch it? Did you guys? The Gypsy Rose the Lifetime Gypsy Rose series. Did you watch that?
I love Gypsy. I love Gypsy
I
Rose.
love that series. It's such a mess. Such a mess.
Also, like, can't wait for Natalia Grace to come back.
Oh my God! Right?
Love.
Love. And because it turned out at the end of the Natalia Grace, it turns out she was a little evil, and the adopted family went against her.
So I can't wait for. There's more to come. Like that show was. Just like my husband was like so into that show. Like,
oh, the husband, the adopted husband guy that was crazy.
God, Mike, like
all characters.
Just the characters. There's so many great characters in our country, don't you think? Outside of our country too.
There are some characters. So how many episodes do you guys release a week?
One episode a week.
Episode a week.
Yeah, we drop over the weekend, which is great because, you know, when you're doing your laundry or making your dinner or driving your car, that's when they drop, which is nice because I feel like most pods drop during the week, but ours drops on the weekend. When my husband pulls an all-nighter.
No, it's great because even like I was listening and I was like, oh, there are a couple things like the Lisa Frank that I was like, oh, I gotta make a note to check that out. Like you guys will talk about shows. You were talking about John Hamm's Apple TV show that got renewed for a second season. Your Friends and Neighbors.
Yes, Felicia, Your Friends and the Neighbors. That's the John Hamm show, but we also talk about Landman. Oh, right. See, we're not just discussing reality TV because I have such a love for scripted TV and such a love for movies, and so it's not just reality. But there's.
Don't you watch anything else besides?
Yeah, no, I watched The Penguin. Did you watch The Penguin with Colin Farrell?
She got a nomination. Love.
Yeah, Christina Milioti and Colin Farrell. So good.
You didn't watch The Penguin?
No,
we loved it. We loved it. Loved it.
It's so good. I thought it was great. But that's what I'm saying.
Loved him. I mean, he was magnificent.
He disappears in that role. It's really just insane to watch.
You don't even recognize him.
No, not at all. Not you.
Hear him.
Oh, there's a video of him speaking with his actual accent in the costume. And it's
amazing.
It's frightening. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe that's really him.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend this podcast, you guys. Go subscribe to it, follow them. I just think they have such a great dynamic. And like I said, it's not all Bravo. This is such a great change of pace. And that's why I didn't want to talk about all Bravo today, because I just wanted to highlight how insane Felicia is and how amazing their relationship is. No, she knows I'm teasing her. No, you would know. I love it so much. So
no, absolutely. But I am becoming certifiable.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Ryan, though, if we come to California, let's get drinks, just like
Oh,
Jax said.
please.
Let's get a drink.
We'll do the Sir Alley. We'll do that.
Also, I think this is a thing the celebs do on Cameo. Did you watch Chimp Crazy?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Tanya also I received a cameo from, and she also was like, anytime we told her about the pod, and literally she's like, let's work together. Let's work together. We hit her up to work together, invite her to be on the podcast.
Nothing.
Ghosted.
Ah.
Empty gestures from the Cameo peeps.
Welcome to podcasting. That's the joys of podcasting, and you are in the trenches. So I congrats. Well, the first year is always the toughest year, so it's going to be great to see where the second year goes. But you guys always have an open invitation. No, you always have an open invitation to come back here, Marni. If Felicia doesn't want to, you're always welcome as well. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for taking so much time today.
Ryan, thank you.
And have a happy Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy Elf on a Shelf month. Let's do this.
Thanks, Ryan.
Bye-bye.
Bye.